Hey, they say if you want to get something done, find a cowboy. Yours truly can speak to that from experience. We've got a cowboy here, an expert in construction who gets it done. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in a minute. Well, everybody, here we are. It's the Cardinal Cowboy, and we put the hat on for this entire show because we got a real cowboy, former professional PBR. That stands for Professional Bull Riders.
Yes, sir.
Professional bull rider in the building here with us. But as it happens, sometimes there are injuries. You had a pretty severe injury into the career, but that led you off into where you're at now, and you've had a lot of history with construction. Is that right?
Yes, I have, Carter. Since I was 14 years old, my grandpa was putting me to work and teaching me how to utilize everything or a tool in a toolbox that I needed. So in case I didn't stay on every bull I got on, I didn't have to come home for work, so I could stay out there on the road and keep rodeoing, and it paid off. And it allowed me to have the business that I have and give customers that satisfaction of exceeding their expectations. And that's what I find enjoyment after not being able to ride bulls and retired now. I get the enjoyment out of delivering to customers that high expectation.
There you go. That competitive nature will help you get through that. With that, we'll give a shout out to our sponsors, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things. And don't we all love nice things? But we like those nice things in our little castle. And our little castle, given how long our leader in our community here, Landon, has been doing this for so long. We got his new website up here. Good job on that. And a whole lots of other information in there. So with that, let's jump back in here and start talking about this, because from one cowboy to another, it said, oh, the song goes, I should have been a cowboy. He reminded me, it's like, I've always been a cowboy.
Yes.
Right? I used to rope and ride, riding my shoes, sitting on a cattle ride. Messing up the lyrics there. I've got to look those up. Maybe that's on purpose. But breaking the young girls' hearts. We have, you got to get work done though. And the Cowboys were the guys that they did whatever it took to get it done and
get the job done and stay until the job is done and done right.
Done right. Okay. Well, let's jump into it. What is it that led you to this? I mean, when you had the construction you said your grandpa gave you was it a work belt? He said, everything you put in that belt.
It was a toolbox.
Toolbox.
He brought me a toolbox one day in the shop, and he set it down, and I'm like, Grandpa, what's that? And he's like, well, that's your toolbox, and I'm going to teach you how to use every tool that we put in there. And he's like, and you got your first tool in there. I opened it up, all excited to see a wrench or something, or a drill. It was a wire brush.
A wire brush, okay.
I'm like, what do I need this for? He's like, well, because I'm going to sit right here and watch you wire brush the rust off that hog crate.
And that was your introduction.
And then you're going to learn how to paint.
Okay. Because once this wire brush cleaned up, we need it painted. So then
I wire brushed every inch of that hog crate that rode on the back of the tractor. That's how we moved the hogs from one building to the next.
Right.
And that thing is still primer red.
There you go. Hey, if you do a job right, it lasts a long time. So Cowboys Farm and Home Services, rooted in quality, built for life. I like what you say there. That's you're in it for the long haul. CowboysFarmandHomeServices.com. 877-COWBOYS, which is, if you have to look it up, 877-269-2697. I didn't realize Cowboys is 269-2697. That's kind of cool. But hey, maybe I'll get a number like that myself if I can find it. Good work. Well, tell me, so your grandpa kind of laid the groundwork for you there and got you started. And then you went into how long were you a professional bull rider? Did you say 14 years?
14 years until breaking my neck.
Okay.
And 26 years altogether.
Okay.
From the time I started when I was 7 and all the way through the junior ranks, all the way to the pros.
Yeah, so that means 12 years of amateur, 14 years professional. When you're a little guy, you had to get. We had a great story from Landon here. He's talking about how Mom had to sign the waiver to let you ride when you were under 18.
Yep.
And you were riding against some big guys, professionals that were over 18, and winning some of those.
I remember the first big event that I went to. It was in Sturgis, Kentucky actually. And
Okay.
I get there and there's Adriano Moraes. At the time he was a 2-time world champion.
Oh wow.
And there's other guy there's all these other world champions, and I'm like, man, these guys are here too. It wasn't even a sanctioned event, but it was a big bull riding.
A lot of the pros, huh?
They had I won the long round. Well, everybody bucked off in the short round, and this bull that they had, he was like a bucking bull of the year for whatever association or tour this was, and I didn't know nothing about him. Well, I had already won the bull riding before I even got on him. Well, they didn't want a ride on this bull, and I rode him because you have an 8-second ticker, and that ticker went off in my head. And I get up and I'm looking at the big screen, I'm expecting to see 90 points come across there, my first 90, and it says no score, and I'm like, no score. And it's like, well, that's your champion of the event, and blah, 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 and I'm like, no, hold on. I know I rode that bull. Let me see the stop clock. And he's like, you won, son. Don't worry about it. Wow. Well, the judge owned him. He's like, no score. And I'm like, man, I rode that bull. And he's like, it don't matter. You won already. And I'm like, well, still, I rode that bull. He's like, well, you know it and I know it. Okay, how about that? Yes. I'm like, all right.
All right. Well, that led to many years of that. But while you were bull riding, were you also working in construction at the same time?
There wasn't a whole lot of working whenever it come to riding bulls.
Yeah,
that's the easiest job to do.
Right.
And make money. But only there was times where we'd be in an area. And that's why I've got quite a few friends over the United States, and from meeting and staying, and I'd help. My work ethic is there, so I got no problem lending a hand helping somebody. So, and all the free help you say that I've done over the years,
sure,
I'm always welcome back. That's for sure.
Nice. What do you think that has led to your success? Is it that determined cowboy attitude, get it done?
That, and it's I'm very competitive.
Right.
And I don't mind winning, but I hate losing in everything. So for whenever it comes to the business, I want it to win. And I expect a winning attitude out of everybody that works for us. And they do. Everybody is positive and good to be around. And it's a great work environment, and jobs get done smoothly.
All right.
Customers are happy.
Well, we talked about it. 25 years in business now, doing construction. You've been around on this planet for a little bit, but altogether, you're still relatively young. Tell me a little bit about your team. You said you got a few full-time guys now, and
we got
a crew that helps you, and then you contract out some of the work you need done otherwise.
We do some subcontract work, not too much, but just if the guys are too busy, and I'll be honest, that's the hard part right now is getting dependable help.
Right.
And that want to show up and work. Because I'll tell you, if you want a job, I'll pay you. And I'll pay you good money, especially if you're worth it. And, that's why I've got Brian working for me. Because I had the first job I asked him, I said, will you work for me for $45 an hour? He said, where we going?
It's not a bad...
I'm like, all right. Well, he's a master carpenter. He's worth that money.
Right.
And you get master carpenter work. It's in the long run, it's probably cheaper for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you add that up when you got the work that gets to the level of stuff.
But I get the jobs, and I meet the customers. Customers, they like the Cowboys, right. So I keep the Cowboys busy.
There we go.
You want the job done right, you got to call the Cowboys.
There you go. Always been a cowboy. I like it. All right, so you got a great team that's kind of help you to. They're doing the work with you to make sure you're satisfying these wonderful clients you have. What is your passion for this that really has led to where this is what you've made into a new career for yourself? It's gone on for quite a while now.
It's the customer satisfaction. I love creating things for people when they don't see it. Like whenever we get free reign, they give us the reins on the job. And they're like, just build us something. Okay, well, I've got all these ideas and stuff. And there was a back deck we did last fall. And we did a back deck. And they were like, well, can we get some seating around here? I was like, how about a fireplace? We can have it right down there in the center. And they're like, you can do that?
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, yeah. I'm like, if you give me an extra $2,000 in the budget, you won't regret it. And I made them not be able to see, so we put up the curtains across their back deck and stuff.
Okay.
And they're like, can we peek? I'm like, no peeking. And we got there early because I wanted to just get that done in one day, so they couldn't see it and be nosy about it the next day and come. So we showed up. You can start making noise in that town around 7 a.m. Well,
Okay.
about 6:30 we started making a little bit of noise, but not too bad.
All right.
And 8:30 at night, we let them come out. We had the fire going. We had their set built. We had a built-in bench around the fire, and then the other part, Brian built a. He took and it's like a spin chair, but it was all weather one. Well, he put it to where it would move, and stuff, and then they could take it down if they wanted. But that part was, and then we had a built-in kitchen or off the back side of the. On the deck, we had a outdoor kitchen and bar. Yep.
Okay.
And it was, they come out and the man shed some tears, and I'm like, man, you gotta stop that, man. I wrote bulls for a long time, and I didn't shed a tear not once. But seeing that, just seeing heartfelt stuff, that's why I do it.
Well, when you've got a passion for something and you're impacting lives, and you get that nature, you're competitive, but when you get to see somebody who's really put their time and effort in, and they appreciate the work you've got, because you probably increased the value of that house 40, 50 grand.
A lot. And well, to be honest with you, they don't even live there because they sold it.
Okay.
And I've had another customer, when she sold her house, she's like, I didn't ever think I'd sell, but I got such a good offer. She's like, I'm moving down south. And I'm like, really? So I'm going to have to come see you down there now. Well, now we live just a few miles down the road from each other. So that job slate's been getting busy again.
Nice.
She's like, I got this new place. I need you to come here and work your magic on it. And I'm like, I'll be by there in a little bit. She's got a dock now and everything. She lives off the lake, so Cowboys Farm and Home Service is about to start doing some dock work.
Nice. Well, when you've got the skills to build, you can do it. All those docks are fun to build. I've worked on a couple docks as a kid. We had a cabin down there in Stanton, Missouri. We still have that. And just being on the river and that peaceful, easy feeling you get
Right.
there. And just to be part of God's green earth there and the water and the river and everything is beautiful.
Yep.
And boy, you're putting together. Now, when you're putting together projects like this, how long does a typical project like that take? I mean, something like that, was that a few weeks or a couple months? Or
You figure it, building a deck like that where it's 15 by 20 is what it was. It would come off the house. Those usually take about a week, because the long part is setting the concrete. Because some guys will come and they're there building on it the next day. We actually will start the job, we set our concrete, and we let our concrete cure before we come back and touch the job.
okay.
So we don't have any foundation problems on anything. Any fence we've ever built or anything, nothing is sagged, and they've held up to every. Yeah, I've not, and we have the longest warranty out of any company. We've got a 7-year warranty on workmanship, and if something of workmanship happens, you call me. One of the guys will come by there and we'll fix it free charge.
Okay.
And because we back our work up, and I haven't had one. I've drove around and checked on customers like, yo, I'm gonna just look at the fence or the deck or whatever, or the barn, whatever we built, the stalls, and like, oh, was something wrong? Well, I don't know. You haven't called me, make sure
Right.
everything's okay. I'm gonna go look and make sure I don't find any weak spots in there. And there was a fence job, or one of the fence jobs, but I went by there and I found a couple loose pickets. There was still some left over from inventory that was in the back of their garage. So I'm like, you still got those pickets in there? And she's like, yeah, I haven't found a use for them yet. And I was like, well, I got a couple that need to be replaced, so I'm going to replace those for you. And she's like, oh, well, thank you so much. Oh, you don't know, ma'am, you don't owe me a thing. Thank you for being my customer.
Quality, integrity, good stuff. With that, we're going to share some of our fun in the community, everybody. Stay tuned here. We'll be back here in just a minute. We're here with Larry Berra, Yogi Berra's son. Larry, great event today with the St. Louis Browns Historical Society.
Yes.
What was it like being Yogi Berra's son?
Like I said in the I don't know what it'd be like today, but Dad was just, back in those days in the 50s, he was a dad. Most of the players were just fathers because they were, playing baseball was a job to feed the families. They didn't make the money. Most of them had to work in the wintertime. Right. So Dad was around all the time. He did everything we did. He wouldn't travel. He would take us to the movies. He loved movies. He loved coming to our sporting events and that kind of thing. So I had no complaints about him being my dad. Like, so he was great. My mom and dad were just tremendous.
What was it like? Did you have a lot of fun with him as your dad? Was he a fun dad? As much fun as he had with all of his yogiisms?
Well, the yogiisms were the yogi, but with us he was like I said, he was regular. He loved to play Monopoly. He loved to play checkers. And the one thing about him was he was a dad that never let you win. But when he beat you, he would tell you how and remind you so you wouldn't make the same mistake again. He taught you while he was beating you. And it was a lot of fun, because when you beat him, you knew you beat him on your own. So it was great because we would let him know that, we got you this time.
And all those championships with the Yankees, is that kind of a fun that's legendary. 27 total World Championships for the Yankees. Yogi was part of probably at least
10 of them.
10 of them, okay.
Yeah.
And impact, was that neat being part of that and seeing all that?
Well, I was like, I was young. He had already won 7 before the time I was 7 years old.
Wow. Okay.
So I saw the 58 one, the 61, 62. Those were the good ones, and those were always fun because I got to go to those games. I got to see at least 1 or 2 games in each one of those series. So that was fun. Yeah, sure.
All right. Remember, everybody, if you see a fork in the road,
take it.
Take it. We'll be back. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. It takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust clearly explaining complex products and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's BIGGLEAGUES.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. Well, Landon and I are talking a little bit about it. You never know who you're going to run into, and just by going out there helping do good things to encourage and be positive. I like the word you said. I like when my crew, they got to be positive. Those are the kind of guys we're going to work with. Well, you never know who you're going to meet. So that ended up being my buddy Ed Wheatley, who I met through Kurt Flood's daughter, and it's turned into a whole lot of fun. And boy, we get to meet some cool people. And we've also interviewed and talked to Chaim Bloom. I didn't do an interview. We had a quick chat with Chaim Bloom, and we've talked to him a few times. New Cardinals general manager. 3 times I've talked to him. By the 3rd time, he's like, "Hey, Cowboy, how you doing?" But hey, man, doing that good work in the community. As a computer guy though, in the baseball background, we talk about cost analysis. And so anytime somebody's getting some work done, you got a lot of great work. We're going to show off some of your pictures here, but they're looking for that return on their investment. So tell me, why is it somebody should definitely get work done professionally like you do versus we got a lot of cowboys out there that they're not real cowboys, they're wannabe cowboys trying to do things that aren't to the level, and so they end up having to do it again, or it doesn't stand up, or it just doesn't raise the quality. It might even cause the value to go down a little bit.
It does. There's the amount of repair jobs that I've done. I wish in Illinois they had to be licensed to build fence, because I've corrected some that is like, man, wow.
I can't believe they brought the customer to see that, huh?
It's whenever you come to us, and you're going to get a return on your investment, and if you want to sell your home afterwards, or just take the simple fact and the self-enjoyment of looking at nice workmanship and craftsmanship. Everything we built, we take our time and we put our hard work, and it's done right. There's no second guessing with stuff. Everything is always the code. So if you go to sell your house, you don't have to worry about with the inspector of having to fix this or fix that.
Right.
And like when they go through it, they don't have anything. It's ready to sell.
Yeah, well, you don't have to tear something out because it didn't get properly installed.
Exactly.
The inspector says, I don't know what they did there, but tear it all down and start over. But tell me, why should somebody choose you? What do you think it is you do that really separates you? I kind of get the idea there, but kind of summarize for us.
Choose me because I am going to go above and beyond to make sure you get exactly what you want, and you didn't even know that you wanted it.
Right. And
then when you see it and you get it, you'll be happy.
Well, that's the way to do things, and go above and beyond. They say if you do a little bit extra, that's how you accomplish excellence. My dad gave me a little plaque back years ago. So excellence is achieved by doing a little bit more. You don't have to do 10 times more. You don't have to keep winding down on the same thing, but just take a little extra effort to do a little bit more. A lot of people, they like to do a little bit less, so it ends up being a pretty big gap
that's
there.
True.
You take a little time to make sure, he would say, and darn sure. He might have said a different word besides darn, but
I'm lucky enough to have a good group of guys to where they have, if there's any downtime, they start picking up. They'll pick up the property or whatever. Does pick up the job site and clean up the customer's backyard. I've watched one of them start mowing one time. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to mow for him. Okay. Well, I ain't going to tell you no, because I seen him messing with the mower. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Cam? And this was during COVID. And he was so construction businesses were about the only thing running and gunning during that time because everybody's at home.
Right.
And they're wanting all this remodeling done. Well, my buddy who ran one of those slot houses, and so he was the manager for that. Well, they completely shut down. And I asked him, I said, hey, I'd use an extra hand on this job if you want to come work. I know you haven't done any manual labor in some time, but
Right.
it'd probably be good for you. And
Right.
he was out there, he's busting his butt. He had a heat stroke that day, I think.
Oh no.
And a funny story, he thought he caught the Rona.
Right.
He started acting like he couldn't breathe. I'm like, Cameron, just calm down. You're fine. You haven't been around nobody with the corona. So sit in the truck. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna get you some water and electrolytes, and you'll be fine. He thought he had to throw up. He opened up the truck door, and this lady, she pulled in. We were at Walgreens. She's got a mask and she's got the whole 9 yards, and she sees him acting like that out of the truck, and she got right back in her car and she left. And I was like, ma'am, he's faking it.
Well, there you go. Some good old guys making sure to have a little fun, do a little extra work. Tell me about some of the certifications and licenses that you have or that you know that are necessary, and it's really what sets you apart, because many times I've talked about this, people, they'll get licensed or they'll get some kind of certificate, but they're not really experts yet. And
right. The license, there's no specific license for contractors other than your home builders and your roofers. So any roofing job, you'll have license on that.
And that's the Illinois side.
And that's state Illinois.
right.
We will be branching out nationally eventually, so we will become certified in Missouri or Indiana, because I'm on the Indiana border, and I've already been getting calls to come over there.
Right.
And I've had to, well, hang on, because we have to take care of our stuff first. And they've pushed back their jobs until we can come do it. I've had a guy call me for the last few weeks, and I'm like, sir, we'll be ready to get to you next week. I'll have everything taken care of, and we can come work for you.
Yeah.
And he's, okay, I'm ready.
He knew what you could do, and so he was ready. He wanted you to do the work. Tell me
the lady that sold her house, the one that I done all the work on for, she made such a good return on her investment, to where she went and bought another house in Southern Illinois. Well, she's friends with this guy, and he's like, well, who'd you have do all your work? And she's like, well, Cowboy did it.
right.
Because to everybody else, I'm Cowboy.
He's Cowboy.
In the rodeo world, we go by our names, you
Right.
know. So, and they're like, why do they always call you Cowboy? When my rodeo buddies, they'd come visit or whatnot. It's like, man, everybody calls you Cowboy around here. And I'm like, well, I'm like the only one around, so.
Well, let's tell me. I'm going to jump ahead for just a quick second. Real quickly, somebody gets started with you. They can go to your website. I've got to put this up on the wall for everybody here. But there's the phone number, and you're going to have an updated phone number. You can see the number that people can use right here. And get an estimate, fill these information out, and pretty quick process. Once they got a hold of you, go through the process. You'll meet with them face to face.
Either I'll come out or Brian, the foreman, and either one of us, you'll be in great hands.
There you have it, everybody. Stay tuned. We'll be back. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.